In the foothills of the mighty Sierra Mountains of Northern California, the sleepy community of Georgetown has become world famous for playing host to one of the most legendary events in the world of recreational driving. Each year, in the mountain heat of late July, over 1,000 Jeep enthusiasts assault Georgetown's Main Street to take on the Rubicon Trail, one of the most intimidating off-road trails in the country.
Well, this is the oldest one. This is the original. This is the granddaddy of them all. This is where it started.
Georgetown is not the capital of California, but this sleepy little community has made its name as the Jeep capital of the world. But 50 years ago, Georgetown was about to fall off the map. In 1848, in the nearby settlement of Coloma, John Marshall, a carpenter working at Sutter's Mill, discovered gold in the American River. Soon the rush was on, and as thousands came to California seeking their fortune, the town of Georgetown began to take shape. At its height, Georgetown was home to over 5,000 prospectors. But during the century that followed, gold fever cooled off, and the community was suffering a slow economic death.
Georgetown was a logging community. It was one of these things, everybody worked in lumber in the sawmills during the summer, charged your groceries all winter long, and then spent the next summer paying them off. And we thought, well, perhaps doing something like this, bringing a Jeep group through here to show them what the upper country is, it would help the economy.
So, in 1952, Mark Smith and friends, together with the Georgetown Rotary Club and the Georgetown Rifle and Pistol Club, organized the very first Jeepers Jamboree. The weekend-long event would lead participants from Georgetown to Lake Tahoe by an old and nearly forgotten trail.
This was an old wagon road, and it was in here, and the local people from the Georgetown area and the El Dorado County came in here and to do fishing.
And at one time there was a hotel here at Rubicon Springs that actually sat on the site here. And from around the 1880s to the 1905s, they had a stagecoach that went out here and would make as many as 5 trips a week.
During the first weekend in August in 1953, 46 Jeeps crowded the streets of Georgetown in anticipation of the first Jeepers Jamboree. Little did they know this first trip would give birth to a legend.
When we first started, we had no idea that it was going to be here 50 years later.
It was having a tiger by the tail, and you didn't know what to do with it. It just kept growing and growing. And of course, to this date, it's the largest event of its type in the world. The Rubicon Trail is the most famous four-wheel drive trail in the world.
We got more publicity and became known worldwide. This is a worldwide event. It's absolutely amazing.
Despite the rapid growth and popularity of the Jeepers Jamboree, the 4-day event remains relatively unchanged. Each year, a few days before the last weekend of July, Georgetown begins to transform into a Jeep culture phenomenon. On this, the 50th anniversary of the Jamboree, over 700 Jeeps will crowd Main Street to kick off the celebration. Tomorrow, the granddaddy of all Jamborees will officially begin.